Welcome back. Yesterday we have started a new chapter in history, that is chapter 2, from trade to territory, right? In this till now what we have studied that about the most powerful and the last Mughal ruler Aurangzeb, how he conquered. Then we studied how the East India Company, that is the English Britishers, how and why they wanted to trade towards the eastern sides of the Asia, right? They wanted Why they wanted to trade with the eastern side? Because they were searching for the places from where they can get the goods in an very cheap rate, and then while collecting from there that particular place the goods in a cheap rate, they can go to their place, that is Europe, back and sell that thing in a great profit, right? So now today we have to start from the next paragraph. The Royal Charter, however, could not prevent other European powers from entering the eastern markets, right? The Royal Charter there because these companies were so powerful and that no one was able to stop them while getting into the trade from the eastern markets. By the time the first English ship sailed down the west coast of Africa, round the Cape of Good Hope, and across the Indian Ocean, the Portuguese had already established their presence in the western coast of India, right? Everyone knows. Portuguese have already founded the good taste in India and had their base in Goa. Then they have settled down and made Goa as their base. In fact, it was Vasco da Gama, a Portuguese explorer. In fact, it was Vasco da Gama, a Portuguese explorer, who had discovered the sea route to India in 1498. Students, this is really very important to remember who discovered first the sea route to India. So it was Vasco da Gama, the Portuguese explorer, who had discovered the sea route to India in 1498. By the early 17th century, the Dutch too were exploring the possibilities to trade in the Indian Ocean. Soon, the French traders arrived on the scene, right? So first was the Portuguese, after them were the Dutch people, and after them were the French traders who wanted to find out the trading purpose towards the Indian Ocean. The problem was that all the companies were interested in buying the same things. Now what the problem was creating, that everyone wanted to buy the same thing. It happens like children, if we go to a particular market and there everyone is wanting to have a one particular material or particular object, so what will happen? A crowd will be gathering over there and there will be problems between them only, right? The fine quality of cotton and silk produced in India had a big market in Europe, right? Now, the Indian material, that is cotton and silk, was so good and it was already having a good market in Europe. Pepper, cloves, cardamom, and cinnamon too were in great demand. Spices also, right? Children, spices were the most important thing which were being exported from India towards the different countries. So these traders, what they used to do, when they come to India, they will buy those things in a very cheap rate because they are the Englishmen and Indian people were not so capable that time to fight with them or to have an argue with them, right? So they have to listen because British has already started having a control over the country. Competition amongst the European companies inevitably pushed up the prices at which these goods could be purchased. Now what happens is, for example, in a market one particular material is in a huge demand. So what the shopkeeper or the, you can say, shop owner of the shop will do, he will raise the price of that particular market. It happens, right? If anything is in a demand, the owner of that particular thing will increase the rate of that object. and this reduced the profit that could be earned. Now what happened is, if the cost price, children, you must have done in the math simple interest, compound interest and everything, right? So if the cost price of a particular object has been increased, so what will happen? The person who wants to sell it, buy it and sell it again, he will not be able to make a big profit from it, right? Because already he has given a lot of cost price for that. The only way the trading companies could flourish was the eliminating rival competitors, right? Now what could happen is, if for the companies, there were different companies who wanted to do the trading system, but there was the same thing for which everyone was wanting the trade to be done. So what they did, they had the strategy of eliminating the other companies to come for this trading purpose for the same particular thing, and to decrease the competitors. Because what will happen, if they will eliminate some of the other companies, so automatically there will be a less competition between the competitors. The urge to secure markets therefore led to fierce battles between the trading companies. Now, to urge means the importance, or you can say the aim to get something at a first priority or in a huge amount. So what happened, because of this, there were so big battles were being fought, right? And these were fought between the trading companies only, not towards India, but they were fighting, because they were the big competitors, so they had a huge battle to get themselves as a superior and to get the thing first. Through the 17th and 18th centuries, they regularly sank each other's ship. Now what they do in the sea, you can't, how you will fight? You can't send your sailors, you can't send your persons to go and fight over there, because it is all over the alongside, everywhere there is only water, because they are in the sea. So what they used to do, they used to just do some harm to the ships, so that the ship could sink down inside the sea, block the routes and prevented rival ships from moving with supplies. Now what they used to do, they used to just you can say keep a restriction between the sea route, so that the rival ship could not pass through that obstruction, and they could not go for the supply of that any object that they are going to, right? Trade were carried on with arms, and trading posts were protected through fortification. This effort to fortify settlement and carry on profitable trade also led to intense conflict with local rulers. Now local rulers means, because if we want to get something in our way, so what we will do, we will be giving some good ideas to the person who is the owner of a particular material. We will be giving him some benefits. So there was not only fight amongst the trading companies, but also between the local rulers. The company therefore found it difficult to separate trade from politics. Let us see how this happened. Now, tomorrow, students, we will be studying how this happened, like how the companies were finding it difficult to keep both the things separately, that is the politics as well as the trade.